Hello friend, Jim here with JB's Big Adventure, coming to you from Lake Chapala, Mexico. And today, as you see in the thumbnail, I'm going to talk about a time that Barbara and I have just gotten scammed. And I want to share this with you because I want you just to be aware that if this ends up happening to you, you'll know basically what to do about it. So there's a couple things right now that some folks have been talking about that have actually been victims of different scams that have happened here at Lake Chapala. And I know that there are some that like to really exaggerate and make something sound like it's worse than what it actually is. But what I want you to know is that there's some things that take place here that you just got to be watching out for. And it would be the type of thing where, anywhere in the States and Canada, here at Mexico. And you probably heard recently about one of those. But what I'm going to do is, before I get to this information, I'd like to encourage, if you haven't already, to subscribe to the channel. It's a great community, and I know you want to be a part of it. It's real fast, easy, and free to do. In the bottom right-hand corner, there's a little red box. Tap on it, and you're subscribed, and you'll know when our next video comes out. Also, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. That lets other people know it's a great video to watch about retiring to Lake Chapala. So, Barbara and I were actually at a place having a meal, and we were actually with a subscriber that has just moved here. And we left and we went to the car, and there was a guy standing there, and he said, 250, and didn't know what he was talking about. 250, and he showed us this like a piece of paper towel. 250. And we couldn't figure out what he was talking about. And then he pointed to the headlamps, the headlights. Well, there was a time where if you pulled into some of the grocery stores or restaurants here, what they'll do is they'll go clean one and then leave one dull or that isn't necessarily, nice and clean and clear. So to get you to go ahead and have the other one done. But we actually came out of this restaurant and he was saying 250, and it was 250 for him to have cleaned our headlamps. And they've got a solution that they use and they clean it. So they just automatically figure you're going to pay them. Just outright, you're going to pay them because they say 250 and you're going to pay them. But I want you to know that isn't how things have to be here. If there are some things that are done and you feel from the goodness of your heart that you're willing to support something like that, then that's a choice. But I think what happens is if we allow folks like this just to be kind of rampant and just go out and just start going to everybody's cars and cleaning them and waiting for people to come out and just telling them how much they're going to charge them, that really isn't, it doesn't give, it doesn't give the surrounding a very good feel. A very good vibe, I guess I would also say. But just something for you to take a look at and just think about. Now, if you're not driving a car, you have nothing to worry about. It won't happen to you. But if you are driving a car, it's something that you'll want to make sure. And there's times, I know when we first moved here, somebody actually went and cleaned one side, one headlamp, and then expected us to have the other one done also. So there's things that they do here that you just want to be, open to realizing that things can happen. And it's up to you, but if it isn't something that you asked them to do and they just went and did it and you feel like giving them something, that's fine. It's up to you. And, if you want to do something like that. So just something for you to think about. And there's another one too that what's happening is, and some of these are actually coming from the States, and that is you'll be walking along and then all of a sudden somebody will go and start to clean the back of your shirt like if something got on it, and then you start wiping and realize there is something there. Well, if you're out at the Malecon, if you're in one of the shopping areas, if you're at the grocery store, and if something like that happens, just realize that they probably have an accomplice and they're there to actually scam you, pickpocket you. Now, the pickpocket, we know of one of the individuals here recently had that happen, and what they ended up doing, they were good enough that they actually replaced his wallet with another wallet. But it's things like that that you just want to realize that we're in a great place, but I think there's also times where the expat community is looked to as being the ones that have all the rich pockets, and they're the ones that everybody can come to and is going to be, giving them a handout, where you just want to be careful. You want to be careful where you're doing it to, and who you're helping in that regards, because in fact, it can be something that that you don't desire. I mean, don't go around and flashing that you've got money. If you've got a fanny pack, wear the fanny pack on the front of you. If you've got a purse, just make sure you've always got your hands on it. Because it happens. People bump into people and take off with stuff, and you'd have no idea. And I understand there's quite a few that come out from Guadalajara. So just like anywhere else, just, be heads up and be watching. And just know if you're around a whole lot of people, just make sure you got your hands on, your pocket, or just realize that things can happen here also at Lake Chapala because of the fact that it's expats that are here, and every expat is looked to as being somebody who's rich. And I might be rich in love for people, but not rich enough to start throwing money around and being willing to let people just kind of take it from you. So just something for you to add to being here at Lake Chapala and some of the things you want to be watching for. And what I would encourage you to is don't wear a whole bunch of flashy jewelry. And I mean, I'm talking about men and women, because you can become a target. I know that we were at another restaurant and we were talking to a couple, and they had just had 100,000 pesos taken. They were at an Airbnb, and they found out it was an inside job, but trying to prove who it was that did it. But they had 100,000 pesos, that's $10,000. And it turned out that, they weren't able to recoup it, but it happened. So just be careful about, even when you're like at the bank ATM, just be careful. Be watchful for people around you, making sure that, you're not going to be taken advantage of. And I'd like to encourage the women too. If you're out and you're alone, or you're shopping, or you're coming out from Walmart and going to your car, just be aware of your surroundings. Just make sure that there's no way that somebody could take advantage of the position you're at or where you're at when it comes to you going to your car. And so anyway, just some food for thought. Hope this has been helpful for you, just to kind of open your eyes a little bit that, yes, there's things that happen here. It happened to Barbara and I. Barbara ended up giving him some money anyway. I don't remember what it was. I think she gave him 50 pesos or something. But, then you feel for the people here. So if somebody was to come saying, I'd like to wash your car. Well, and you say yes, and they wash your car. Okay. But there's also places where folks take their cars and they come out and the guys wash them. And then what they do is they take the windshield wiper on the front and they actually have it popped up. And the reason they do that is because it lets them know that that's a car that they had cleaned. So it's a real easy way of looking at it and say, okay, that's a car that I'm going to be collecting. So when I see somebody start going towards that car, I'll know that I need to go collect money from them. So again, food for thought. And if it's something from your heart that you feel like you want to support that all the time, that's fine. But don't be surprised that they follow you around. Just want you to continually support and find ways of getting the money. And again, you know what? The Mexican people are really hard workers, and it's too bad that there are those, just like in any other culture, that aren't that way, that are trying to find devious ways of taking the money from you. So again, just things here at Lake Chapala. So hope that's been helpful for you. Hope it's kind of, enlightened and it brings some things to light and just things to be careful and be watching for. So friend, if you haven't already, I'd like to encourage you to subscribe to the channel. It's fast, free, and easy to do. Real simple. There's a little red box in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. Tap on it and you will be subscribed to know when our next video comes out. Also, If you like the information, give us a thumbs up. That lets other people know it's a great video for retiring at Lake Chapala. Stop by, say hi, leave a comment or a question, maybe an idea about a video that you'd like to see. Then also make sure that you hit the bell. When you do that, it will immediately notify you when in fact our next video came out. So with that, as always, thank you for being a part of our community. Thank you for being a part of this video. Have an awesome day. We'll see you on the next video.